A woman once stood for hours waiting to receive $1 from the Lubavitcher Rebbe. And when she finally reached the Rebbe, she expressed so much surprise that he was standing and not sitting that whole time. And she said to him, Rebbe, how do you have the koach to stand for so many hours on end without getting tired? And the Rebbe answered her, every soul is a diamond. Do you get tired when you're counting diamonds? And that's true. Every soul is a diamond. Maybe a diamond in the rough a little bit, because just like a diamond needs a certain amount of cutting and polishing in order to reveal its inner beauty, so too, we all need a certain amount of love and compassion and understanding in order to be able to shine our light out into the world. And we all want to feel seen like that. But in these times of confusion and seeming darkness where Hashem's presence is hidden from us, we feel less seen than ever before. And specifically during the 3 weeks, there's even more confusion and more layers of darkness because we are mourning for the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash and Yerushalayim. And we actually act in a way of mourning during this time in order to stir up those feelings of desire to go back to the Beis HaMikdash and to draw Hashem more into our lives. But there's also 3 Shabbases during the 3 weeks. So how do we reconcile the light and the beauty and the Kedusha of Shabbos with the seeming darkness of the 3 weeks? So let's go back to the beginning of creation and we'll talk about light, because the very first light that Hashem created at the very beginning of creation, we know it was not the sun or the moon or the stars, but rather a specific energy that was filled with Hashem's own clarity. And Hashem saw that there was so much potential to abuse this power, this koach of seeing, as the Chazal teach, from one end of the world to the other, that Hashem actually hid this light away for the future. And the Zohar says that this light was implanted into creation, just like we plant a seed in the ground and from that seed sprouts fruit, so too from this special light, the whole world is sustained. Now, Hashem also gave us certain access points to draw this light into our lives. Like, for example, Torah learning. As the Zohar says, anyone who works at learning Torah and during the night, through the night, draws down upon themselves and those with whom they are learning a ray of that hidden light. So the darkness of night and also the times in our lives that feel like night can be banished through the light of Torah learning. That's one of the tools that we have in our arsenal. Another tool to access, or another way of accessing the special light of the beginning of creation, Hashem's hidden light, is Shabbos. Because during Shabbos, we disconnect really from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. We try to reconnect with our families and with ourselves. And Hashem helps us by shining that special light into the world. Being aware that that's what's going on enables us to tap into that even more. Now, the Me'or V'Shemesh, Rav Kalanimus Kalman Halevi Epstein, who lived in Krakow in the late 1800s and early 1900s, late 18th century and early 19th century, he taught that although every Shabbos brings a lifting up or an aliyah to the world and to ourselves, the 3 Shabbases during the 3 weeks actually bring a greater aliyah to the world. How is that? Because the distance between a regular Shabbos and a regular week is so much, but the distance between the Shabbases during the 3 weeks and the 3 weeks is so much greater. So there's an action of lifting up. We get lifted up, the world gets lifted up, and in that momentum, we are able to draw down even more light. And that special light seeps into our 3 weeks. It seeps into our life. And if we can tap into it, we could maybe see with different eyes. We could maybe see with eyes of hope. Eyes that say that no, Hashem is helping us get closer and closer to Mashiach, closer and closer to Geula. We are, rather than feeling lost and confused, we are really working on ourselves and trying to sort through all of the issues that have come up in our own lives and in, the generations of Am Yisrael, and the sorting through and the working on, that is propelling us forward. So, as individuals, the aliyah that we make from the 3 weeks, the daily part of the 3 weeks, to the Shabbos of the 3 weeks is huge. And there's so much koach there. There's so much potential to lift ourselves up and the whole world up. I want to give us all a bracha that we actually use the potential light that we can find in the Shabbos of the 3 weeks to enable us to see deeper into the 3 weeks, to enable us to see deeper into each other, to enable us to see deeper into what is going on in the world, and to see with eyes of courage and eyes of hope and eyes of koach. And maybe if we tap into that, we will also be able to see the diamonds all around us. The diamonds in ourselves, the diamonds in our family, the diamonds in Am Yisrael, and really the diamonds in the whole world. Be'ezrat Hashem.